We'll open the saloon doors again next week. And, delighted now to be joined by Alive and Kicking. Morning!
Yay,
Good morning. Cold enough for you?
Oh my God, -2 when I parked the car this morning.
How is it that someone makes a song about the season of the sticks and makes it so utterly brilliant that everybody wants to listen to it all of the time?
All of the time. And it's not even the fall anymore.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
How does a person do that?
He's just found the
He's
right
just
notes,
found
isn't
the
he?
notes.
Yeah.
It is a good song.
First time I
Love
heard
that
it.
song.
Really?
First time you heard it?
Yeah.
What have you been going around asleep for the last 12 months?
First of all, I wasn't listening to any radio in December until
This is true.
the 21st.
I've heard of this.
Because of Whamageddon.
Oh dear.
The sabotage.
The sabotage.
The sabotage.
Yeah.
That's a confession in itself.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And then before that, I only listened to both kinds of music.
Both kinds.
Both
of music.
kinds.
Yeah.
Country and western.
Correct.
Love that. We're big fans of Stick Season over here,
Yeah.
and with all the Christmas music out of the way, all these
Yeah.
songs are creeping back into the charts, which is quite nice.
Yes.
Yeah. On the pub quiz, you were playing along on your drive-in,
I
Reverend
was,
Sophie.
yeah, I got 4 out of 5. I was quite impressed with that. The only one I didn't get was the last one.
Oh, did you put a funny answer in your head?
I did, I went Bob.
Just a simple
Must
bob.
be a Bob series.
Well, because I suppose it was on the
On the
sea.
water.
A bobbing along
Yeah.
series.
Have you only just got that?
I have, yeah.
Bobbing
dear.
Well, Rachel,
Bottom of the beautiful briny sea.
I was laughing at Rachel in Pembroke, Bobby McFloatington series.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
That's pretty good. That must have come on as I was driving through a patch where I lost signal. But I was convinced for a minute that it was my Rachel.
Your Ray.
My Ray.
Co-host Ray.
Co-host Ray that was messaging you, but it wasn't.
No.
No.
It was the Torrances in Pembroke.
I even phoned her up and I said, Ray, well done.
And she was like, what are you on about, Mum?
What are you on about, Mum? Aw.
I haven't seen you yet this year, Reverend Sophie. This 9th of January, but Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you too.
How's 2025 treating you so far?
Good. I've been busy. Have you been busy, Father Neil?
Yes.
Yes, we've been busy. It's kind of like I had a week off and now it's back to it.
Back to 105 mile an hour.
I didn't have a week off.
No, you didn't.
He has only his week off. Yeah, he will get a week off later, but we can't all have our weeks off at the same time.
No.
No, because the congregation just be sat there just been,
Yeah.
mm.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
I tell you what Tom could do is the very least he could do is push a hoover around the studio, which still has the detritus of the tinsel all over the floor.
Magic sparkles to go into a new year is what
Yeah,
I'm going to call
right.
them.
So
I feel
that's
a
abs. That's the remains of abs'
It is. Yes.
presence.
So
So
she's
the
dusted.
sparkles that she brings to the studio.
Just
Yeah.
remaining. And Abs is with us for the rest of this.
No.
No.
She's gone.
No, there could
it,
be
done.
news afoot. So stay tuned for that as the week progresses.
Oh.
As it stands though, it's the 9th of January. It's the first Thursday that we've been able to convene the council of the Breakfast Show and Alive and Kicking
That's crazy.
for confessions. Yay! We've all been waiting for it. And Father Neil, I'm assuming that,
Yes.
that you have been approached. Should we have a little dance?
We shall.
Where is it? Here it is.
These are my confessions. These are my confessions. These are my confessions.
There we go.
My confession is that I haven't taken my fingerless gloves off and I look like Steptoe and Son in here this morning. So I'm going to take those off now because the studio is warm.
I have a lovely lady in one of my churches who's crocheting me liturgical fingerless gloves.
I had a colleague that had those of all the different colours.
All the different colours so that I
Yes.
can wear gloves whilst I'm doing communion.
Well, you're doing different bits and pieces. I
Yeah.
love that. Well, you
So-
had your white ones the other day, didn't you?
I did have my white ones the other
Yeah.
day, yes, my liturgical ones. Dear Council of Alive and Kicking and Pure West Radio, the G&T Breakfast Show, I went to a Christmas meal in the run-up to Christmas of my works. It was at a very, very fancy restaurant, so the person tells me. And it included a new colleague who, in the run-up to the meal, had advertised themselves as a self-proclaimed foodie.
Okay.
This person spent every moment that we were in the restaurant, critiquing everything that was going on around them, critiquing all the courses, critiquing the menu. And whilst we were in the middle of the meal, asked everybody what their favourite food was and where it was from. And so as everybody went round the table and was sort of saying, oh, you know, pan-fried, fillet steak, Welsh beef, grass-fed Wagyu nonsense.
Wagyu nonsense.
It got to me.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
And you went McDonald's.
This is
this is
not me.
not
This
fun.
is
No,
not me. This is somebody
seeking forgiveness. Yes.
Yes. I said that there's nothing I like more than hot buttered toast, and that I have it every single morning, and that every morning it gets better and better. Well, Foodie was not prepared to accept that as an answer. So I doubled down. Soon we were in the middle of a flaming row in the middle of the restaurant, in the middle of the Christmas meal. Now, admittedly, drinks had been imbibed on all sides. In the end, he slammed his fist down on the table and said, "That's just not acceptable," and stormed out.
No.
Am I forgiven for lying about what my favourite meal is? And am I forgiven for winding up my overly serious foodie colleague?
Fantastic. Do we know what this person's favourite food actually is?
Apparently, if truly asked, then they would go for their favourite meal was a medley of all sorts of tropical fruits that they had on their honeymoon in the Maldives. They were sat on a beach with their new husband, because it's a lady that is has given and they were served a medley of tropical fruits on a white sand beach as part of their honeymoon in the Maldives. So that would have been their truly favourite meal.
But they substituted this
Yes.
with butter on toast
Yes.
in the middle of a staff party at Christmas,
Yes.
which escalated
Yes.
into raised voices,
Yes.
fists on the table,
Yes.
and even a storm out.
Yes. And that person did not come back to the meal. They left.
Oh no! Reverend Sophie, summary thoughts for us.
Firstly, I'm going to turn my attention to the person that stormed out and left. What the actual, as my daughter would say. What the actual. I don't think my daughters would have stormed out. And I've got teenage girls. I mean, there is a serious lack of
Perspective.
Perspective, yes. This person needs to go and see a therapist. Just saying. Like, if you're getting that hooked up over someone winding you up about toast, you need to go and see a therapist.
But also, what's so wrong about butter on toast?
Well,
I love butter on toast.
Why?
Thick slice,
Yeah.
white bread, treat yourself,
Yeah, absolutely.
real butter,
Real butter.
slam it on there, straight out of the toaster, put
And-
that butter on.
Yeah, and
Oh.
if you're playing devil's advocate,
Mm-hmm.
depending on whether you're a Marmite or a jam person,
Mm-hmm.
you might want to put a bit of jam on there.
Marmalade.
Or Marmite
Yeah.
or marmalade.
No.
Chocolate spread all the
Or
way.
chocolate
Chocolate.
spread.
Oh.
I like chocolate spread on crumpets.
Same. I had some
Crumpets is
over
good.
New Year's. Yeah.
No, I mean you can make your toast bougie, can't you?
You
know, doorstep sourdough with Cornish salted butter and all that sort of stuff.
But the image
I-
portrayed
yes.
was not that.
No, and I will say that the reason for the wind up was not the reason for the wind up, but one of the extra details of the wind up, because I did say, oh, you can have nice hot buttered toast.
Yeah.
It was sort of like, no, this lady kept on insisting that it was sort of like white sliced from Aldi
Yeah.
in the
cheap-
toaster.
the 70p.
Yeah.
In
that
it pops.
was the best meal that you could have in your life.
To be fair, when I'm ill, the first thing that I'll have when I'm starting to get over the hump is, I really fancy some toast. It's like that benchmark of, I'm getting better now.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
See,
you're right.
for me, there's escalation on both sides. So the gentleman concerned, the self-proclaimed foodie, he arrived in the restaurant, he critiqued the venue, he critiqued the menu, he critiqued the food, he was pointing at other people's choices. You know, he was being a snob, and he was, and obviously when people drink at Christmas parties and stuff, it can be attitudes like that can be a sign of insecurity, and he was new into the company.
Oh, you're being very, very nice.
So, but yeah, so he maybe inadvertently doubled down in an effort to impress his colleagues with his knowledge.
It's a dangerous game, though, isn't it? And whenever I walk into an establishment, I like to look at the benefits, and I like to look at the positives. First of all, there's an establishment that's catering to your whole team's needs.
Yeah.
You've all been able to order some food, and you're being fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And enjoy
Which is
that.
more than a lot of people in this world get. So you know.
The employer was paying for the meal for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's not as if he's putting his own hand in his pocket. So he's actually critiquing the menu that somebody is paying for.
I feel like at this point I need to have a little, not a confession, but I need to probably lay on the table some of my own.
Hello.
Okay, so I have a now deceased member of my family.
Right.
All right. Who would have done just that. Would have
Right.
critiqued everything, and would have and would have made a fuss and a scene about every aspect of a meal if we went out to a restaurant, to the point where we stopped going out with that person for a meal any longer.
So you're getting flashbacks.
I'm getting flashbacks. I'm being a little bit triggered here. So I feel like I'm probably not as, what's the word?
As impartial.
Impartial, that's the word. Impartial, it's too early in the morning. Impartial as I would normally be first thing on a Thursday morning. So I just want to lay that on the table. So,
Okay.
yeah, just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is evidence to the fact that for maybe other members of the festive dining,
Yeah.
they may have been feeling a similar way. It was like, well, actually, I'm just glad that I'm here with Beryl from Finance, enjoying a lovely prawn cocktail starter.
She's a
I'm
nice
making
girl,
that up.
isn't she?
She's great.
Beryl from Finance. We love Beryl
Yeah.
from Finance.
Yeah, completely made up. But yes, but it's that whole thing of, it's not about being the foodie in those occasions. It's about the fact that you're having an occasion.
Yeah.
And if you're putting pressure on all these people to be like, oh, what's your best meal? I remember when I had that when I went to Guam. It was like, well, I don't actually.
No.
I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed myself. And there's that fine balance of, I really appreciate great food. You should try this.
Well,
Build
yeah.
someone up to it, not like.
We all appreciate great food, but actually I prefer the company.
Yes.
I prefer the company, and when there are plenty of people in our, putting aside other countries around the world where
Here comes the moral. Here comes the moral card.
Aside all of the children in other countries that are starving, there are plenty of people in Pembrokeshire that are starving right
yeah,
now. And I I think I know that this is not a serious confessions first thing on a Thursday morning, but actually that sort of thing is serious, and we're talking about people who have little food, and then you've got someone who's throwing a strop because someone's talking about having toast being their favourite food first thing on. I'm more cross with the guy that stormed out than I am the person that's confessing.
But we've just been talking about how we love the sense of occasion, and we just love being with other people.
Yeah.
And has our person that's brought this forward, have they actually made it awkward for everybody?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they doubled down. They
Yeah.
deliberately. Yes, this person was badly behaved, but not only did they say hot buttered toast to wind this person up, but they doubled down and they kept on doing it until they actually drove the annoying person out of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And they stormed out. Now, everybody else around the table would have perhaps thought, okay, person A, snobby, bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
Person B, winding them up to the point where they actually stormed out and there was a big scene in the restaurant and this sort of stuff. Also, maybe bit of an idiot.
Yeah, I think they're both idiots, really, aren't they?
Oh, if you've just tuned in, we're in the middle of confessions. Pre-Christmas
serious.
meal with the office. You've got a relatively new starter talking about how much they love food. They're going around critiquing everybody, critiquing the establishment they're in, and then it came round to the person that seeks forgiveness here today because they turned around and said, "Oh, well, I just like butter on toast," and doubled down on that and caused an issue which led to raised voices, fists on the table, and even a storm out from the new person who was a little bit... Well, we've had ungrateful is the term that's been put in on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yes. We've been saying how much we love the sense of occasion. The fact that there is nourishment and that we can enjoy these places with our colleagues.
Yeah.
Sophie, you've just said they're both idiots. I'm going to
Yeah.
pose the question to you.
Bonkers.
Do you forgive?
Do I forgive? Okay, that is a complicated question.
I know.
That's a very complicated question. On the basis that the person recognises that they've done something wrong, I would say that they need to have a conversation with the person. So I think there needs to be a step before forgiveness happens. There needs to be a conversation with the person that stormed out and say, look, it all went a bit too far. I was winding you up. I'm sorry. End of conversation. And then they can have full forgiveness. I would say that would be my answer.
That's your
this evening.
answer. I think I'm on a similar page as Reverend Sophie, you know. The initial, just butter on toast, and left it, forgiven 100%. Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Butter on toast, I love it. You can't beat comfort food.
No.
Butter on toast, ideal. Lisa also likes chocolate spread on her toast. I'd be like, yeah, butter on toast, you can't beat it. When it got a bit heated, you could have then said, if I was to pick something else, it would be a mixed fruit platter for my honeymoon.
Yeah.
Let bygones be bygones and let's go. But that didn't happen.
No.
No.
That didn't happen.
Everybody been drinking, see? So...
Evil stuff, that drink. You
Alcohol.
wouldn't catch me drinking
Yeah.
anything. No.
So I think that there does have to be a bit of a step of reconciliation because presumably they still work with each other.
Yeah.
I'm presuming so. I haven't spoken to this person, so I was told about this between Christmas and New Year, and I haven't spoken to this person in the New Year. So it's been, 9 days now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that things would have had to have been patched up.
Could you imagine if it's still the thing that no one talks about?
Yeah.
They're all turning up in the office in this
still a-
new year, and it's like, I'm looking to a bright and airy new year. Oh, they're both here. Shh, shh.
Or
Are you having any
everybody
lunch? No, I'm never having lunch again.
Yeah, everybody starts really early in the office and is eating toast quietly as the foodie walks in.
Oh, could you? Oh gosh. I think fundamentally I do forgive because it's nice to have that colour around the table and be like, I just like butter on toast. Because the other person could have dropped it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other person could have dropped.
So I think fundamentally I do forgive. It's all fun and games, but so it did end up in someone leaving. Fundamentally I forgive, but go forth and repair that relationship.
Absolutely.
Father Neil.
No, don't forgive.
Oh!
No, both of them badly behaved. I'm thinking about everybody else around the table. I'm thinking about the fact that you don't make things... if somebody's behaving badly, you don't sort of like compound that by winding them up and making them even worse. There's so many things. Yes, okay, it was a good line, and for 30 seconds or a minute or so, but taken too far, I think. So not forgiven.
So I think we're split, because I'm fundamentally forgiven. You're very much on the fence
Yeah.
and not forgiven. We need you at home to send in whether or not you forgive.
Yep.
You are going to be the deciding vote. Get in there now. Lisa on Instagram would have made people feel awkward around the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
So go on, say the words, Lisa. Are you forgiving or not? That's what I want to know. It hangs on you now. No pressure.
That's right. If we can't come to a decision, we'll blame it on. We'll leave it to everybody else to make a decision.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that's the whole point.
It's a hung jury this morning, ladies and
It is.
gentlemen.
I don't even know what to play for that. Is it this? Is it just go for? We need your help.
Help us, Pembrokeshire.
Not forgiving. It's there on Instagram.
Yes! Thank you, Lisa.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for Confessions once again this morning with Reverend Sophie Father Neil. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Who knew that toast could be so controversial?
Who knew? Wow. I do wish I was on another table listening in on that.
Fly on the wall job.
Yeah. Alive and Kicking this Sunday?
Yes, it is. And we're talking all about the baptism of Jesus this Sunday.
And
Excellent.
baptisms generally,
Yes.
presumably.
Yeah.
There you
Yes.
go. Learn more about that this weekend. And we need to give a shout out to Tallulah.
Hi, Tallulah.
Hello, Tallulah.
Hello,
How are you?
Tallulah.
She's been spoilt by Granny Collie this week.
Okay. Does
Yeah.
she need a bit of spoiling?
It's just because Mum's away, so she's like, I'm going to get spoilt. So we've got a song on the way,
Nice.
which I'm announcing now.
Is it from Bugsy Malone? My name is Tallulah.
Keep going.
I can't remember. It's a very, very young Jodie Foster.
It is a very young Jodie Foster, and yes, she is the inspiration behind Tallulah's name. We're going to play Special by Lizzo after Traffic and Travel. Lots of ice on the roads. Father Neil, Reverend Sophie, thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Unscramble celebration still to come between now and 9 o'clock. Still time to get yours in. 01437 764455. And we're going to look at an event around the county with Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
OC Davies, cars of quality, prices for all.